right, who wants to hear about high-octane adventures and the latest and greatest on the motor scene? It's time to rev it up with John and Jess on Joy 1340.
Welcome back to Rev It Up with John and Jess, coming at you on Joy 1340 AM and 98.7
How come you always get to say that?
Dude, I wish you would take it over. I wish you would take it over. Take it over.
Take it over what?
Start it. Go.
You? No. What do the welcome back?
The intro. Yes, go.
I don't do the high-pitched stuff. I can do the low thing.
Do it.
But everybody's like, ooh,
Do it
then
really
I know
low.
your Joy. So be like, I can do like the commentary thing, like
Just try it once. Again.
Welcome back to Rev It Up with John and Jess.
Okay. I think
It's a commentary. It'd be like when you're in school and they would like you'd be reading. Today we were talking about the EAA Experience
That would be you.
Association, international organization, but like 3 minutes everybody would be sleeping on the show like I did in this class.
Right.
That's why I do these things because I used to sleep in school all the time.
do what things? You would literally be like, welcome back to Rev It Up with John and Jess. Joy 1350. Oh, wait. Joy 1340. Is that AM?
Be like Bueller,
87.9
anybody
FM.
can- yeah. Well, people would still listen though. I think.
Probably.
You
Hopefully.
think they still listen because it's me? You guys say it, Justin. What do you
Maybe
think?
they're listening because of me.
Because of you? Yeah, it's all about Jess. Yeah, Jess got a new haircut.
Sure.
Jess got her hair all done. She was she had to put it all over the Book of Face to get a commentary about it. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, that's why I did
The
it.
best part is I was in the shop last night with the boys, and Nate the Great and Zach showed up.
My second husband.
Yeah, Nate. Just so everybody knows, for if anybody else is in line for Jess here, Nate is first in line. He will shed blood to anybody that he said Jess is his wife. So
Most women do have an office husband, a work husband.
Nate doesn't want you for office husband. He just needs you for public for weddings and whatnot and stuff like that.
I'm there.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. Nate will
That
go
would be
anyway.
perfect
Yeah,
because
Nate doesn't
we
care.
could go out and have fun, but then there's no pressure for anything because we're not doing anything of the sort. We're just going out.
Well, you're starting to get into really details. Are you talking about an open relationship now all of a sudden? Is this what?
I'm not, sir.
Are we still on the same radio station?
I'm not.
Rev it up openly with John and Jess.
Rev it up everywhere, all the time. John and Jess.
That was a past life.
Yeah, remember that invite you got? What year was that? 2022?
To what?
The fair staff?
The what? The what is it?
Never mind.
What did you say? The fair staff?
Yeah.
Oh, the fair staff. Yes, that was interesting.
Without going into too much detail, the fair
Oh, we can go
staff.
into detail. I don't care. It's our show.
Okay, go. Tell
Yeah, we
about
get
it.
some pretty interesting offers of stuff going on. Are we? Let's not moving.
I don't know.
And stuff, but it was. Yeah, Justin's like whatever. But anyway, so we get. We were doing a one of our great shows at the fairgrounds, and the staff was cutting the grass. I would just say the groundskeepers. I guess is that what they
Sure,
are?
you could say
The staff at one of the grounds
The
that we were taking care of,
groundskeepers.
and we were helping the grounds out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Jess and I, of course, are who we are, so we're quite talkative. And the one staff member, of course, noticed Jess coming in one day and her tank top and all bubbly, and the guy said right away, he's like, "Oh, you got a really nice looking woman." I said, "Well, thank you very much,"
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the one day we came in and we were spreading mulch and stuff down. Obviously, I told you this.
Working in your sweaty t-shirt.
I'm wearing a sweaty t-shirt, and then there's all guys there. It's all guys. It's all old farmers and
Sausage
stuff.
fest.
So the next thing you know, I see a girl on a lawnmower, in a tank top, and of course, bouncing around and whatever. I'm like, well, that wasn't here all week. Where did that come from? And I know everybody had these grounds, so I'm like, that's under. So next thing you know, the guy's like, oh, that's my wife. I'm like, oh, all right, no big deal. And he's off on the other end of the grounds, and this girl comes over, and she's like, "You're John, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah." So she's like, "Oh, right away." And we're sweaty and stuff like that. And I mean, now I'm older and I don't do her. But so she comes up right away, and you love this story.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, I just love your tattoos." Wow, you got. And then instead of going this way, it was the back of the hand like this. I'm like,
in
what?
slow motion.
In slow motion, I'm like, and my guys are like, "What is that?" I'm like, "That had to be a joke or something like that."
Right.
So she's like, "Yeah." So if you ever, stuff like that. So I think was it a day later?
Yeah.
A day later, the guy comes up to me. He goes, "Yeah, my wife I think is really cool. She really likes you and stuff like that." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm just working, right? I'm building benches to do whatever. And he's just like, he goes right away. He's like, "Well, yeah." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "If you ever want to hang out or with me and my wife or doing like that, or you and Jess," I'm like, "Oh, I'm thinking, like double date
Sure.
or whatever like that." And he goes, "Well, yeah, because you and Jess are in the lifestyle, right?" And I'm like, And all of a sudden I'm like, well, what?
What? You're like, what?
And he goes, the lifestyle. He goes, well, you have like open like marriage. Like you guys are swingers, right? And I'm like, where did you get the impression that we were swingers?
Because we're friendly.
Because we're friendly. We're friendly.
Justin's face.
Yeah,
is
this
like,
guy totally like throws it out there. He thought we were swingers because we're nice, and I'm like, well, no,
we're outgoing.
No, and all of a sudden it was almost a guy thing. I'm like, well, Jess isn't, but but anyway,
she was more into you though.
Oh my God, I was like, man, I'm like, this chick was coming at. I'm like, and then on top of it, I mean, obviously we've had crazy experiences in bars and stuff over the years, and some crazy stuff. Women came after you before and all this other stuff like that. But it was really funny when. Even after that kind of died out, and I said, yeah, we're not, and there's no way Jess would be part of that, and I would be part of that. He still came at me for a couple of days. He's like, yeah, my wife really wants to know if you're on a corner. I'm like, dude, I'm flattered. And then they went as far as I think I told you he was showing me pictures, not explicit pictures, but them at some of the parties in Minnesota, and I'm like, wow, that's...
Trying to rope you in.
So just so you guys know, the old swingers clubs are alive and well all over yet.
Oh, yeah, that network is... huge. That network is larger than we think it is.
Yeah, a lot of people you don't know.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your thing, more power to you.
No. So, yeah, we don't condone it, nor we do not knock it like they would say in Seinfeld. That's whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's get back to our family fun of talking about the EAA in Oshkosh that's going on right now.
EAA.
So, have you ever been?
I haven't.
Okay.
And I will bring this up until the day that I die. The only time I've been to EAA was when I ran the Tough Mudder. And I'll talk about that.
So you've been to the grounds?
I've been on the grounds. I ran the whole grounds.
Okay, but it was not during the EAA?
No.
So technically you were not at the EAA?
That's what I just said.
You said the only time you were at the EAA was when you were in Tough Mudder. So you acted like...
The grounds.
Yeah, so the grounds. Well, you acted like there was a Tough Mudder during the EAA.
There might as well have been.
Yeah. What did you do? Pull an airplane?
Yes, that would have been on there.
Okay. So anyways,
it's an annual event, and it's way bigger than I thought it ever could be. And it's celebrating their 70 years this year.
It's one of the biggest ones in the country. Another cool fact that we have here in Wisconsin.
EAA is the Experimental Aircraft Association. It's an international organization of aviation enthusiasts based in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Did you ever hear of the EWA?
No.
Do you know what that is?
No.
I can't believe you didn't heard of that.
Is it a joke?
No.
What is it?
It's kind of a joke. Experimental Women Association.
Oh, God. Lord help me get through this podcast. Since its inception, it has grown internationally with over 200,000 members and nearly 1,000 chapters worldwide.
I'm listening. It's very good. It's very entertaining.
This year, 2023, it took place July 24th through the 30th. There's parking and general admission fees, member fees versus non-member fees, that kind of thing.
Okay. There's been quite a bit of celebrities. I mean, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or doing whatever, but there's been a lot that have been there. I know Harrison Ford has been there. I know John Travolta flew a plane there a couple times.
They're on the list on the back of my...
I didn't get that far. I was just telling you what I know.
I know.
So why does it always got to be by a list? Why are we like in school? It's like...
What would you do without a list?
What would I do without a list?
Yeah.
I'll live my life freely like I do. What's next? You can tell me to take a shot?
What kind of shot? Like a drinking shot or a vaccine?
No, that was a joke about the whole, like, what would you do without my list? Take a shot, like, because you're sick. Whatever, it was a COVID joke. Oh, my God.
That was so circa 2020 and 21.
That went over her head, and apparently that was a couple years late on the joke. So anyways, go for it. Keep going with your list. Write down paragraph 1, 2, 3. Like you're a school teacher. You wish I was a school teacher. The first gathering was in September 1953. I would have stayed after I'd done my homework.
We were to graduate. I think I'm having another stroke.
You what?
We would have graduated early instead of late.
What's wrong with me? Just because I'm a fifth-year senior? I did 5 years in Germantown, baby.
Anyway, the show's almost half over. The first gathering was in September 1953 as a small part of the Milwaukee Air Pageant. The original EAA fly-in was at the Curtis Wright Field, which is now Timmerman, and attended by a handful of airplanes, mostly home-built and modified. Fewer than 150 people registered as visitors. The larger Milwaukee Air Pageant has faded away, but the EAA gathering has become the world's most premier aviation event.
Really? So can we do a quiz? I mean, I don't know much about aircraft.
A quiz?
Yeah. So who was the first one? The brothers.
The Wright brothers?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what year it was?
No.
Me neither. I was just seeing if you did. So, all right.
Justin probably knows.
Justin does. Justin, what year did the Wright brothers fly?
1987.
Yes.
Yeah, Sam.
Bravo.
There you go. Yep, same year Monsters Rock came out. There you go.
Yes. So anyway, the fly-in grew quickly, and by the late 1950s, it outgrew the area of the Milwaukee airport that it could use, and it moved to Rockford, Illinois in 1959.
Oh, we gave it to them for a while?
It stayed there for the next decade, and it was referred to as the Rockford years, where it established its prominence as a home builders event and its friendly feeling that is retained to this day. During these years, such diverse aviation interests as warbirds, antiques, and aerobatic performers became part of the event. Who knew that there was so much to do at AirVenture? I did not know. Do you know Kim and Emmett, my sister-in-law and my nephew,
Yeah.
have gone like almost every day this week, and they still don't see everything that's
Really?
there.
I know it's huge. I know.
Huge.
Really? Mm-hmm. The only time I went there, because somebody told me that Harrison Ford was there. I don't know. I just went when I was up there, but I went up there and I could not find the guy. I saw a huge crowd, and I'm like,
sure.
I mean, like obviously it's got to be big because there are freaking airplanes everywhere.
Yeah.
But it is huge. Like I was like, oh my gosh, and of course it's in Oshkosh. So it's only like 40 minutes from our house, so we pass it all the time. Mm-hmm. So it's just really, it's amazing how much cool history stuff we have here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and stuff like I always knew it was a thing, but I never looked into it, so I had no clue all this was going on. So they have daily aerobatic air shows, including 2 evening shows, multiple opportunities for aircraft rides, like aboard some World War II bombers and a Super Fortress, and
Those
like
are
a
really
MASH
cool. I
style
love the bombers.
helicopter.
You know, like about the World War II bombers, all the artwork they used to have. That was the
Yeah.
whole, because you love that whole
I
pinup
do.
gals and all
The
that stuff.
pinups, I think, are the best.
The bomber girls and all that stuff like that, and that carried on to the hot rod scene and all that stuff in the 30s and 40s. So
The B-29 Doc Super Fortress has a picture of Doc from the Seven Dwarves on it, so I thought
Really?
that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. They have like a big fly-in theater, which is like a drive-in minus the vehicles. It's a bunch of people sitting on the grass with a 5-story high projector, and there's a movie every night with free popcorn,
really, what kind of movies you play at the EA?
like Top Gun.
Well, obviously Top Gun. We figured that was going to be happening. Yeah, they got to play some war movies and stuff like that.
It was, I think, generally flying type movies.
Yeah, well,
I could
would
be
assume
wrong.
So yeah, well, they wouldn't play like a rom-com or something like that, would they? You know,
I doubt it.
they wouldn't play like like a horror movie.
Yeah, at a family-friendly event, they all float.
We're at the EA, and yeah, we can't get Top Gun going, but we have it.
Right.
Yeah, let's get a crap out of it. Like Halloween.
They have an RC flying field for remote-controlled aircraft and drones.
I wonder if the RC guys show up.
Twilight Flight Fest, which consists of flying events that highlight less traditional forms of aviation in the evenings. The Fun Fly Zone, where enthusiasts can see ultralights, powered parachutes, weight shift trikes, and home-built helicopters.
Really?
There's also a hot air balloon launch on Saturday morning.
Have you ever been in one?
A hot air balloon?
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
remember this girl's afraid of heights. I don't think you would get me up there.
Do you know back in the day when we lived in the old Germantown farm there? Every once in a while, I mean, that was obviously in the 80s and stuff like that. Every once in a while, we'd have a hot air balloon land in our
Field?
backfield. Yeah, the backfield there. And I remember it was Kristen, me, and I don't even know but the guy let us sit in the basket and all that stuff. And we only went up like 15, 20 feet, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then he put it back down. But yeah, but they landed in our backyard because I mean, we've got airports all over the place too, like Hartford and all that stuff too.
That I would probably do, but I've seen too many like those videos. I don't want to say funniest home videos because it's not funny, but like fail army
Yeah.
videos where the baskets go up into the electrical wires and
Well, yeah,
hitting
we
sides
wouldn't.
of
We're not going
buildings.
to be. We're not launching a hot air balloon.
Jess
downtown.
is not going to go in a hot air balloon. Probably not on a
stuff
cruise
on it,
ship.
Country stuff there. So
In a field, I probably would do it if it was kind of low.
okay.
Kid Venture has a lot of hands-on aviation exploration for kids. They also have a Girl Venture camp to inspire young women to pursue their aviation dreams. A bunch of education and tech labs, activities and crafting areas, which is run by volunteers, and a 5K run and walk on the campus as well.
Really? So they kind of do have an event there. So they might have a Tough Mudder there. So I spoke too soon.
No.
You have an event to run, but yeah.
The 5K is
So
like
you
a
got
run walk.
So then okay, gotcha. Okay.
And then EAA celebrates and salutes our veterans, which is something that you and I always get behind.
Oh yeah. Yep.
For those who dedicated their lives to freedom by designating the Friday of AirVenture as Salute to Veterans Day, the celebration includes a breakfast parade and an honor flight with the Northeast Wisconsin's Old Glory Honor Flight Organization.
The honor flight is a really neat thing.
I think that's an awesome program.
Yeah, it is. I know so many that have, parents and relatives have been on it. It's really great.
Really? You've known people that have been on it?
Yes. I've actually had my sister, Kristen, obviously, one of her best friends from school, Julie Banzi, her dad, Marv Banzi, who passed away a couple years back. He was on it. He was on there, and I know I'd have to dig in some names. I can't think of them, but I've known probably 3 or 4 that have been on it. It's really neat to see for the honor flight and stuff like that. So it's really neat. Yeah.
Mad respect for all of our veterans.
Yeah, definitely.
There's like 100+ indoor exhibitors, thousands of unique aircraft, the EAA Aviation Museum, hundreds of forums and activities, and for all ages throughout the day.
Bet there's a lot of food there, too, a lot of food trucks.
Probably. That's the one thing I did not look into.
You?
Me? Did not.
How could you not look into this stuff? I was just telling you about
It
the food
was
at the fair.
just so overwhelming. I don't know. I'm quite disappointed in myself right now.
I was going to say, they've got, we've actually have some friends, obviously, you're going to keep going with this, but we have some friends that have been up here for that and come up here every year for it.
Oh, Julie and Jim?
Yeah.
Have they been up here? I'm surprised they didn't fly in.
I know that. Well, I think Jim's got a sister that lives in Fond du Lac, right? I think it is. He's got some kind of relative, not some kind of relative, but he has a relative that lives in Fond du Lac.
Okay.
And I know he talked to her about it before, about doing that for the EAA.
They should be up here.
Yeah, they might be right now. Well, I have no idea.
Here's the thing. Here's some stats from 2019, but
Okay.
I guess it's insane to fly in. So more than 10,000 airplanes descend on the runway of Whitman Regional Airport in Oshkosh to make
That's
it
crazy.
the busiest airport in the world that week. In 2019, there were 16,807 aircraft operations in the 11-day period, which averaged out to approximately 127 takeoff and landings per hour.
That's a big staff.
Yeah. If you're flying in, there are resources online at eaa.org to make your flight a smooth one.
That's pretty insane. I know it brings a ton of revenue in the area. It's crazy.
Oh, totally. Over 500,000 people from over 80 countries attend AirVenture. In 2019, pre-COVID, there were 642,000.
Wow.
Total
That's a lot
show
of people.
planes from 2019 was 2,758. That's a lot of
That's a lot of
airplanes.
planes. It's a lot of cars, let alone an airplane. It takes up 10 times the space.
And I wonder how they get them. Like, I want to know, because we know what it's like to plan Motor Mania, which is a drop in the bucket to what EA is.
You start doing this stuff. I mean, look at the staff. There's I think there's 1,000 volunteers for this thing.
There's a crap ton of volunteers. I'd be interested in the staff because they'd have to organize which planes are coming, how you're bringing them in, when you're bringing them in. I mean, that would be a major.
Well, yeah, that's a job in itself for sure.
Production.
Yeah, I know. It's just crazy. So it'll last 11 days. You say.
This year it's the 24th through the 30th, so it's a little
bit shorter.
but
Okay.
back in 2019 it must have been 11 days.
Gotcha. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it looks like you get quite a list of celebrities that have been here over the years.
Yeah, so I don't know that they've been there. So last week we talked about celebrities who were also race car drivers. These are celebrities who are also pilots. I don't know specifically that they've been at EAA, but you mentioned Harrison Ford and John Travolta.
Yes. Yeah.
Good job.
And I know those two have been here multiple times.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they've been here multiple times. That I know for sure. So
We've also got Angelina Jolie, Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Clint Eastwood, Jimmy Buffett, Kurt Russell, and Patrick Dempsey. He's just a man of...
Dempsey is just all over the place. It's,
all
that's
over
why
the
we
place.
discuss everything with all things motorsports and all things motors. But Dempsey's all over everything. And then of course you got the our other two friends.
Our friends, Jim and Julie Kramer. I actually put Julie first on the list this time because she's the one that actually has her license.
She's the one that has a license. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you and I have been down to the Kramer's airport hangar and all stuff. And
And I sat in their
you
airplane.
sat in an airplane. There's some picture of you online for that. Yeah. For
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Julie was still waiting for my ride.
Well, we were going to go that one day, but it was the weather was bad when we
You know, I say that because she's going to be like, come on down. Like, what is your problem? Because I mentioned a picture of hers on Facebook the other day of their back pond. You know,
Yeah.
the pond in the backyard.
Yeah, I love
Their
that
grandson
pond, yeah.
was fishing in there. And I'm like, are there fish in there? She's like, yeah, there's like bass and trout, I think.
Really?
Bass and bluegill or something
Okay.
like that. She's like, when are you coming down there waiting for you? I'm like, Julie, I will come down there and I will fish in your pond. Like, don't.
Oh, they're
think that I
great.
won't.
They're great. Yeah, I love hanging out with the Kramers. They're a lot of fun. They really are. It's too bad we were double booked this year to come down to his last car crush, but you know Jimmy, so we'll see. We'll see how that is.
There's still time. We got time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there's so much that I'm probably not encompassing for the EAA. So for more information, check out EAA.org, and you can also find them on Facebook. I'm sure they're on other platforms, but I am not, so I'm not hip if they're on Instagram.
And whole aircraft thing?
Yeah. I'm not an aircraft girl, but, I try.
All right, so what's your favorite movie of what airplane flying? Is it Top Gun before Tom Cruise went crazy?
Before he jumped on the couch?
Yeah. He jumped on the couch one time. You can't.
That's all you need. And then I was like, I can't do Tom Cruise anymore.
It was one time. He flipped his lid back.
That was weird. If you rewatch that was super weird. Justin, do you know about Tom Cruise jumping on a couch on Oprah? That was way before your time, but it happened.
That was when he was with the whole, what do you call it? Scientology.
Scientology.
It was Katie Holmes, right?
Yeah.
Well, women make guys do weird stuff.
Jump on couches and do crazy things. This is so weird.
He's revived himself from that, I think. I don't know. That's just me.
Okay, why don't you talk about, why don't you mention our upcoming street drags that I keep forgetting about?
Oh, that you keep forgetting about. It's coming up soon. We have one more great month. September, we're off again because of the Harvest Fest. But we have we're passing on so the EAA is done there a little bit. But anyway, so street drags, people are blowing up our phones like, when are the Tuesday night drags? When are Tuesday night drags? So it is funny to me that we have all this online. We put so much information online.
So much.
And on our Facebook pages, we will update again this week.
They're skimmers.
It's guys. Every guy is a skimmer. I don't care. I mean, and so skimming is what Jess and I talk. So if Jess sends me a text message,
he skims it and doesn't read it.
So Jess texts a text message and he goes like this, and then I'm like, okay, that's a really long message. And
it's like.
So if it takes up the whole screen, I will go to the first sentence. I'll look somewhere in the middle, and I'll look at the end. I'm like, yep, got it.
It's all pertinent information.
So it's called skimming, but I get the percent of it.
You skim with your eyes and your ears.
You want me to be one of those guys that skim in the bedroom? Just good. Wasn't that funny? You got nothing to say. Look, you're quiet. Look, you're quiet. Jess is speechless.
You don't want me to answer that.
All right, throw that pillow over there. Anyways, street drags coming up Friday, August 11th and Friday, August 25th. Yes, in August we are on Friday nights. So everybody's like, well, why don't we do it on Tuesdays? I'm like, we can never keep anybody happy because then on Tuesdays, I'm like, why don't you have it on Friday so I can get here? So we figured we'd do both. When we started our own street drags this year, we would do both.
Plus, we have to let people know to keep in mind that there are scheduling conflicts with that, with not only the fairgrounds, but we didn't want to step on Road America. We had to talk with them at World of Wheels.
All the events that are coming up. I mean, if you guys want to buy us a racetrack, I can have whatever you want.
Yeah,
I'm all open to that. I mean, if you guys want, I mean, I'm totally up for that. Or, buy 40, 50 acres and I can put in my own racetrack. That's awesome.
If someone did that, if like an anonymous donor was like, okay, here's your racetrack, how often would you do them? Just
why do you ask? Because somebody just asked me this the other day. Somebody's like, well, I know a guy because, I know where we get in touch with everybody. And I said, well, how often would I do it? I said, well, I have to find a staff to do this all this time. So I can't just have you out there and just racing down my street whenever you want.
Give her.
Safety and everything else, Scott Finko, all this other stuff,
Takes a village.
I don't know. It'd be hard to say. It'd be hard to say because you really have to staff that and ensure it. As we know, accidents happen, anything happens. So that's a tough one. So
just curious.
Because somebody did come up and ask me about buying a piece of land for us a while back, and I was like, I don't know. Then I got to go do all that. It's a lot of work. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, street drags Friday, August 11th and August 25th are coming up. Friday night, Washington County Fairgrounds, West Bend, Wisconsin, like usual. Open grudge night all night. Might have a couple classes coming up, depending who's all the pre-qualifying. But
you might do classes now?
Well, I've said we might because we got some guys that want to do it. I think if anything, we'll have a fastest car shootout to see what happens in the end, like we do, and we'll do that maybe, just maybe, on August 25th. We will see about
to wrap it up. Awesome.
To wrap it up to maybe have a little cash prize in the end for the fastest street car out there. So just something I like throwing out there, a little,
Right.
let people think about it. Like, oh my God, did you hear Bagley said he's gonna have a fast car shoot? It's just fun to stir the pot a little bit, stir that up.
Yeah.
Up, you know, it's what we do. So, anyways, but one big thing I just want to stress out on our street drags, we had a couple events on Friday and Saturday night at Motor Mania. Please, everybody, listen to the rules. Listen to our safety directors. That is a big, big thing. We have to do it. No alcohol involved when you're driving. Seatbelts on, passengers, all that other stuff. So let's be safe and let's be smart. Otherwise, we can't have street drags anymore. And then
That'll
everybody
get
be
shut
safe.
down.
Yeah,
Someone's
so-
always got to wreck it. Swear.
There's always one bad apple in the bunch. So
right.
let's do it. So, all right, EAA has wrapped it up.
It's wrapped up. EAA.org.
So we can hit the wrap it up box.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
And thanks to all our
Until
great
next time.
sponsors: Riley Auto Parts, Air Technologies, Serpro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah.
All right.
Will you stop talking now?
I was done a long time ago. I was done.
Okay, bye.
Wrap it up.